going to do a video today on having backyard chickens in the city. Um, there's a few videos out there, but I think that there's some information I could give you that would be helpful to know before you get chickens. This is my first time ever having chickens. I've wanted chickens my entire life. Always lived in an apartment, never had that option. Didn't really research it. I just knew I wanted chickens. When I bought a house, my realtor knew that my one and only criteria was a backyard big enough for chickens. I would love lots and lots of farm animals, and I plan on getting many more when I have a bigger property one day. But for now, chickens and my dog will do. But there's a few things I wanted to tell y'all, and then I wanted to show you how I clean the coop and how much poop they poop. And yeah, okay. So I got 4 chickens. I got them about 3 months ago, and I do want to say I got my chickens, they were already a year and a half old, and I got my chickens from a woman I live in Austin, Texas. That's probably useful information. Yeah, okay, so it's important to look up your city guidelines for if you're allowed to have chickens or not, because a lot of places you are not. I'm allowed to have chickens as long as they are 50 feet from my neighbor's fence line, I think, or something like that. My chickens really aren't. My chickens are a little bit closer than that, but luckily I have super chill neighbors, and I just kind of went with it without asking them. I thought, we'll just see if they'd make me get rid of them and they complain, then I'll find a new home for them. But I'm the type of person that just does things and asks for forgiveness later. And I did a lot of research on how loud they were, and they are very quiet. I'll go into that later. But so I got my chickens from a woman here in Austin that was moving from a big property to an apartment complex, and so she didn't have anywhere to store her chickens, and I didn't want them to go like somewhere where they become chicken soup. So I told her I was looking to get chickens anyway, so it worked out perfectly because I just took hers. And I do encourage other people to do that. Trust me, I wanted baby chicks. I wanted chicks so bad, and raise them so they grew up knowing me, and just chicks are so freaking adorable. But they're only chicks for a short amount of time, and it's better to save some chickens. They might become food rather than just it's kind of like shopping for a new dog at the shelter versus getting a brand new puppy. That's the way I looked at it. And anyways, there were perks to it. They already were producing eggs, so that was awesome for me. I got to have eggs right away. Normally, if you get chicks, I think they take about 3 to 6 months to start producing eggs. But so I got 4 chickens. It was also more chickens than I was anticipating. I kind of just wanted 2. My backyard is not that big. I'll give you guys a tour in a minute. But I was under the impression, for some reason, this is the biggest misconception that everybody should know, chickens I thought that they were good for your soil, fertilizer and stuff. Yes, they're good for compost, but the grass actually, they freaking destroyed my entire lawn within the first month. They kick their little back feet up and they just destroy your grass. If you have any grass, be prepared that it will be destroyed, completely destroyed, very quickly. So I got a little coop on Amazon or something like that. It was really cheap coop. It was only $200. I got the cheapest one that I could because I'm a tight ass like that, and it ended up being way too small. They did not. It just seemed too small for them, way too small. So what I did was I built a bigger coop, I built a giant big square around the little one, and I was like, well, I'll let them free range all day long, and then they can just go into their coop at night. But then they just started destroying my entire beautiful lawn, which was like so pretty, and all I wanted was a backyard. So I have now limited their backyard free ranging time to like an hour a day, and then usually on the weekends I'll let them do a full day. And at this point, my grass is completely destroyed. It won't look like it though because I have weeds. So that's not grass back there, it's actually weeds. I will show a before and after though of my grass after just 1 month of having chickens. But lesson learned is they will destroy it. Now for noise level, they are actually really, really quiet. Definitely my neighbor's dogs are more noisy than my chickens are. But they will make a loud clicking noise when they're laying eggs. So, I mean, it's probably 15 minutes max a day. Each chicken like will yell for like 5 minutes while they're dropping an egg. So, and I don't blame them. It seems like pretty painful. They're the egg proportion wise to their body. I feel you, girls. So, that is something to know. They will make like a clucking or kind of like rah, rah, rah. Okay, that's so embarrassing. They will make a loud chicken noise for a few minutes a day. But other than that, they're really quiet. They don't smell. I thought that they were gonna smell worse. Their poop has like a slight odor to it, but it's nothing like pungent. It's nothing that my neighbors could hear or smell. Sorry. But they do attract a lot of flies. I'm not sure about mosquitoes. I have mosquitoes regardless because I live in the South, but there were a lot of flies. But I'm going to show you what I bought that has helped cut down the flies like immensely. It's been a huge help. It's like a little fly trap thing. I'll show you. And then also I feed them. I'll show you what I feed them. So I have just both of these by my front door, my back door. They're big things. This is like a pellet kind of material. And then this is like seeds. And it comes with like peas and stuff in it. And then I get them this and I pour a little bit of this. I can coax them to go anywhere I want with this. This is the little Happy Hen treats. They're dried mealworms and it is so disgusting the first few times you see them. Like there's dried worms in there. I still haven't been able to pick it up or touch it. It grosses me out so much. But anyways, I'm going to show you my chickies. So one thing also that I've done, I have outdoor like chicken coop shoes, like just an old pair of Adidas that I slip on because you don't want to walk, there's Lucas, you don't want to walk through the house with your chicken poop shoes on. So I just keep those by the door because you can kind of hear them right now, because their poop could have salmonella in it and you don't want that dragging around your floor. So my backyard is really small. Well, not super small, but we just got half of a new fence installed, so don't mind the weird difference in the fence. But yeah, so they get to range around here. It's in the afternoon, so they know it's their ranging time. I usually let them out around 6 p.m., so they're wanting to go out right now. And then, hi girls! Hello ladies! I let them out around 6, and then the sun sets around 8:30 here, so they free range and then they just go back on their own. So I built this out of just 2x4s and plastic chicken wire. So I wouldn't recommend that because the squirrels have gotten in and dug a hole, because we definitely attract squirrels here like crazy. Here are the girls. And you might be asking about my dog, how he reacts to the chickens. The answer is not whatsoever. He is just a fancy chicken. Yep, he's just one of them. They really don't. He tries to smell their butts every once in a while, but yeah, they're pretty cute. I mean, I have the best dog in the world. He's so mellow and laid back, so there's no really issues there. So now we will go and see the nasty ass coop. So I'm going to show it to you while it's dirty, because I'm about to clean it right now. I want to show this because I had no idea the chickens shit this much. There is so much chicken shit. This has been 1 week since I've cleaned it. I just clean it once a week. at first, initially when I got them, I was cleaning it every other day, and I ain't got time for that. I don't got time for that. So this is the $200 coop that I got from Amazon that was way too small for 4 chickens. So yeah, there's so much shit on top of it. And this is 1 week of shit. I kid you not. I don't know if I'm overfeeding my chickens, but it's crazy. So I'm gonna brush all of this off and clean all this. Let's see. I haven't checked eggs for like 2 days. So cool. I got 6 eggs. I get about 3 eggs a day. I just recently switched to this style of water because I got this at Tractor Feed Supply because I just had that for water, and the chickens constantly shit in it. They shit in water bowl. They are dirty animals. And so they shit in it all the time. So I was cleaning that. I'd have to come out and clean it every single day. And I was so over it. So I got this. I need to put a top on it though. I just switched over to this. Took a little bit of time for them to figure it out. I just had to sit in here with them and flick the nipples like this while they were watching, and then they finally got it. It was pretty easy though. It took about 20-30 minutes. And I usually come in and I put the worms I just get the worms on the ground for them because they eat those right away. They have made this mess. I always put the food just in here, just off the ground, and they make a huge ass mess with it. They are so messy. And so as you can see, there's absolutely no sign of greenery in the chicken coop. That happened in, I kid you, 3 days. There was full lush grass right here. We put the coop down, and 3 days later, not a single blade of grass left. So they are masters at destroying lawns. Just be prepared for that. And here is my nasty ass flycatcher. So it's disgusting, and it smells even worse than it looks, and it's actually makes me really sad to see all of these flies dying. But it made me really sad to see my chickens like being bombarded with flies like crazy. So I got that from Chewy, chewies.com I think it is. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this nasty ass coop. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it out and put it just out here, and then I'm gonna hose it down with a high pressure hose and get all of the crap off of it, and then I'll bring it back inside. And then also, one other thing I learned. Oh yeah, so after I had my chickens for about I want to say a month actually, a couple weeks or a month, I noticed that they were like scratching a lot. Oh, they're so cute. They were like all just really itchy. So what I did was I googled it. It looks like they might have mites. So what I did is I bought some diatomaceous earth. It is this stuff. It's like $14 at Home Depot. They say that this is not human and animal safe, like for consumption or like breathing in the lungs. It's been totally safe for my chickens. Actually, I got way higher yield of eggs after they after I started putting it. I'll show you guys how I put it in their coop. I don't pour it when they're next to me because I don't want them to inhale it. I just kind of want it to be on the coop so that what it does is it kills like any insects. It completely kills them, and it's natural too. I even put it in my garden because I get crazy stuff in my garden. My eggplant, my peppers. But yeah, if you want your chicken to be your best friend, buy those mealworms. They freaking go crazy for them. So I go ahead and start by, I don't want all this on my dirt, on my lawn, or once was a lawn. So I scoop it up and I put it in compost, and actually it is, I don't eat with that compost. It's just a big pile of compost that I have. So, but it's supposedly really good for compost. So I want to show y'all what I did for the, so I got this plastic stuff from Home Depot, and you definitely don't want to do wood because wood, it rains a lot where you live. The wood will definitely rot. So that plastic has actually been awesome, and it protects the chickens when there is a storm. Although I thought the first time it rained, I was like, oh my god, are my chickens gonna be okay? And they ran out of the coop when I opened up the door. They love the rain. They're like, it's worm time, so they go crazy in the rain. If it's like a crazy storm blowing all over, they will seek shelter in the coop, but they are not afraid of water whatsoever. So I just use the garden hose, and normally I wear like a bikini or something, but I'm not gonna get a bikini for y'all. But you're gonna get chicken poop splatters all over you, so be prepared to take a shower afterwards. Do this right before you shower. Watch out, Lucas. And hopefully wherever the poop lands in the grass is gonna maybe sprout up some grass, if I'm lucky. This is Chick-fil-A. Just kidding, we're not gonna eat her. Isn't she cute? You have to, when you hold them, make sure that you tuck both wings in, because if they break, they can break their wings really easily. And I can even let her pick out of my hand, and it doesn't hurt. But you gotta keep their wings down all the way when you put them down. There you go. So after I have finished hosing all the chicken shit off of their coop, then this coop, I'll show you my $200 coop. So this has a little thing right here, which I've already taken out, and I hosed it down. It's just stained. It's just gonna look nasty. That's the way it is. But you pull it out, and then you hose it off, and then I'll show you what I do with it after that. So after this is clean, then I pour wood chips all over it, and I put a spoonful of this diatomaceous earth. I probably mispronounced that. I just put a spoonful in it and mix it all up, because this is where the chickens poop when they're inside their coop, and the poop obviously attracts insects, and if this stuff kills all insects, so it just helps the insects from like getting crazy. Because where I was putting in it, when I would take it out, if it had poop on it, there would be like full on like fucking insects all over this shit. So this stuff has actually been really great. There is a brand too that they say is perfectly safe. This for animals and humans. I really do believe that this stuff is perfectly safe, but there is a better brand. But for me, I chose I could tell my chickens were super itchy, and I didn't want to wait a week to find like a different brand that was more safe, because I read that this stuff would be perfectly fine. So I just went with it, and they've been fine. I've had them for about 5 months, and they seemed a lot happier after I started spreading this stuff inside their coop. I put it on this tray, which they crap all over all night long. This goes under where they sleep for the night, and then I also mix them in with the wood chips in their nesting boxes. So, and then this looks like it's actually pretty clean. If there's like poop in here, then I will switch out these sawdust, and then I'll put again a spoonful of the diatomaceous earth, and then I'll mix it all around inside, like fluff it around so that it gets amongst the wood chips. And look how cute those eggs are. I got a bluish one, greenish, like I get a few different colored eggs. That's how you know you got real organic chicken eggs, is when they're all different colors. But yeah, that stuff keeps the bugs away. So there's not really any bugs in there, so they're happy. But honestly, they just go in here to nest. They don't really. Only one chicken really likes to sleep in there at night. I mean, initially I did not feel comfortable with just this protecting them. I still really don't. I'm gonna build it bigger, by the way. I'm gonna build it double the size. I just haven't gotten around to it. But you know what? I don't really have any, knock on wood. The chicken's only predators are squirrels right now, which aren't. The squirrels are much more afraid of the chickens, but potentially I could see snakes coming in here. I live 5 miles outside of Austin downtown, so I don't foresee coyotes, perhaps raccoons, but it hasn't happened yet. And what I do is I just sleep with my bedroom window open, which is right there. So I listen all night long, and if a chicken clucks, I run outside because, wow, one of the chickens is like growling. Oh, they're all doing it. That's actually really weird, and I haven't seen them do that before. But something I did not know about chickens is I was sitting out here once having lunch, and they all froze, like perfectly still. There was a hawk or something in the air, and honestly, I felt like I was in Twilight Zone or Black Mirror, because it was the weirdest thing. It felt like time froze because the chickens were so still. It was like were playing a game of freeze. Apparently they do that when they hear a predatorial bird. So that's a fun fact about chickens. Alright, so now that their coop is, well, pretty much clean off, it's stained with chicken poop, but really, for the majority, the poop is off. Now I'm going to rake this whole area up, as I do every week, and then I'll put this coop back. But I also wanted to show you guys, so this stuff, flies and mosquitoes do not like the smell of garlic. So what I do is, this is pure 100% garlic juice. I don't want to use any chemicals that are dangerous for treating mosquitoes that could be a threat to the chicks, so I just take this pure garlic juice. I'm sure you could make some yourself, and I just mix it in water. This is not all-purpose cleaner anymore. I just mix it with water, and then I spray the coop with it to help keep, again, the fly poop down, or the fly poop, to keep the flies away from the chicken poop, because the flies do not like the smell of garlic. And there you have it. There's a bunch of information about having chickens that I've learned from my own experience. Nobody taught me. I just went in for it and figured it out on my own. I do also want to add that the second day that I had my chickens, I thought at that time they were going to be 100% free range, and I just thought that chickens could only fly like 3 feet off the ground. So as you can see, my backyard there, I've got a neighbor there, I've got a neighbor there, I've got a neighbor there, and all three of them have very dogs. So I just thought there's no way a chicken could get over my 6-foot tall fence. Well, I was wrong. On day 2 of having chickens, one of my chickens, my favorite chicken, jumped up onto the posts and just jumped into the other backyard where they have 2 German Shepherds, and I instantly, my heart dropped, and I was like, well, there goes someone's gonna have chicken for dinner. And crazy enough, the chicken actually, I saw the dogs chasing the chickens through the fence panels, but the chicken actually managed to fly back away from the dog, which is insane to me, and very lucky for the chicken. But after that, I realized that chickens can fly a lot higher than 3 feet. So be prepared for that. Your chicken can definitely scale a 6-foot fence, no problem at all. But it's funny, I don't worry about them whatsoever anymore. I let them free range like at least 2 hours a day, and then on the weekends, and I will leave my house, I'll go grocery shopping. I'm not worried one bit of them getting over the fence, because that happened on the second day because they had not established their territory yet. But now they know their territory is my backyard, and they have not ever tried to jump over it again. So or maybe she learned her lessons when she saw the German Shepherds. But yeah, so that's good to know that the chickens, they will learn their boundaries and they won't push it. So to sum it up, chickens love mealworms. Chickens love rain. You don't have to worry about them being in the rain, although you do want to put a heat lamp out there if it's wet or cold and rainy. It's really hot right now. I haven't had the chickens through winter yet, so I'll put a little heat lamp out there in the winter. But what else? Flies don't like garlic. Mosquitoes don't like garlic. Get one of those fly trap things. Oh my god, if you don't, you're gonna have so many flies. Oh, by the way, I also give my chickens table scraps, like all of my produce, any like leftover rinds or banana peels. Like, they like pretty much any kind of produce scraps. I give them to them, but that will attract flies, so you have to, if you give them table scraps, you have to clean up any of it, like when they're done with it, as soon as they're done with it. Like, don't leave it out there for more than an hour or you're gonna get crazy amounts of flies. What else? And they poop a lot. That's the biggest lesson. Oh, and they destroy your grass. But honestly, it's well worth it. There's nothing like going out and getting a couple of eggs and then bringing them back in and making something, cooking something with them. I also really just enjoy sitting out there and looking at them and watching them play. Well, they don't really play, but watching them be chickens and picking them up and loving them. So it's actually, I wouldn't trade the poop and having to clean the coop at least once a week, and I wouldn't trade any of it. I really, really enjoy having them. And how much they cost, I should add. So that food that I showed you, those 2 big bags, each bag was $30. That'll last at least a month. And then the mealworms, those are $15, and you have to buy those probably twice a month. I'll put it in right there. I can't do math on the spot, but you're looking at around $100 a month to feed the chickens. And I mean, and I get a lot of eggs, so I don't eat that many eggs, so most of my friends and family get my eggs. But if you're down to eat a lot of eggs, it's probably worth it. It's just fun too. And knowing that your eggs are like fully free range, or not fully free range in my case, but they're happy chickens. I think they're pretty happy. So I think it's worth it. And then if you guys want, I will make a video of how I make a really, really, really good frittata with my fresh organic chicken eggs.